Well, that's a great way to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Scorpio Superformula Series Round 9. No, this is not deja vu. No, you are not rewatching, what was it, last week's round, or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. Either way, we are back at the Red Bull Ring once again, for a quote-unquote rerun, for the Scorpio Superformula Series. An executive decision was made following the conclusion of Round 8 that due to the fact that we had so many connection issues for the previous round, we would rerun it as an additional round. So our 17-round championship is now 18 races. And the drivers have also been given an additional drop round. So we are now up to 3 drop rounds on the season. Hopefully, we will be able to get qualifying started without issue this time. Quackadilly once again having a little bit of a trouble joining a lobby. Should be hopefully very interesting here. 15 drivers will be taken to the grid today. Unfortunately, it'll just be me, Scorpio Blade, here in the booth today. My co-host, Felix, will not be joining us. Had prior engagement, but we wish him the best, and look forward to having him back in the booth, potentially next week. And speaking of, this, now that we are running this re-round, kicks off what will now be a 3-week stretch, triple header, for our Scorpio Superformula Series, running, of course, here for the Styrian Grand Prix, as it is being called. Next week we will be off to Brands Hatch, and then the week after that we will be taking on the Goodwood Festival circuit. So that should be a very interesting circuit for these guys to tackle. Excuse me. Fortunately, though, after that, we will have a little bit of an off period. Probably 3 or 4 weeks between rounds 11 and 12, Goodwood to Spa. Spa will be taking place on August 30th. Last week of the summer, or the unofficial summer, so should be very fun indeed. Qualifying will attempt to get underway for the second time here this afternoon. 10 minutes for our drivers to go ahead and set a lap time in the search for pole. A couple new names joining us today. Larson is now relisted as Adaptive Inc. So I'm gonna hope to try to remember that is Larson. We also have, I believe, Alex here is the other new name. James has joined us once again, moving up from the lights lobby. Will be joining us here on the grid. Of course, we have our championship leaders, Ryan, the first words, oh goodness gracious, Ryan, Ornell, and there's Nico. Nico, our top 3 in the championship, still going at it. Nico will be looking to take advantage of this rerun, hopefully get in a better finishing position than he did last time out. I believe he finished outside the top 5 last time out, so hopefully it's not just a circuit issue, but we shall see. Track limit's the name of the game here at the Red Bull Ring. Everyone looking to use as much of these very wide curbs as possible. It'll be very interesting to see how many of these drivers get blipped for track limits. As James starts rolling out of the pits, Michael, first car on track, who will be setting a lap time. Michael, of course, had a very spectacular off last time out, going through, or coming out of turn 6. Spun the car over to the outside of the track, just got up over the curb, lost the back end, snapped it, and then actually got quite a bit of air going over a bump in the runoff area. So he'll be looking to potentially recover from that. Super S2K, our championship leader, immediately jumps up to the front at a 109.5. Very impressive opening lap. It immediately picks up a half-second penalty. Nico slots himself second place at a 110.2, just ahead of Ryan at a 110.3. Supa up to P4, Sanchez P5. Lester puts himself into 7th. Michael has now dropped to 8th. Ivan in 9th, running that Niki Lauda tribute livery. Another great reason for why it's such a good thing that we have this rerun. We're finally able to get a bit of camera coverage on the Niki Lauda livery, and I apologize for missing that last time out right before he disconnected. But always great to see our drivers run special liveries, and especially one to a man who dedicated so much to the world of motorsport, and we would not be in the same place without him. Rest in peace, Niki Lauda. Moving on through the rest of the grid, Roach is now down into 10th as Lawson jumps up into 2nd. Lester currently running in 11th, heads back out of the pits. Quackadilly running 13th, Peme 14th, and James yet to get a representative time on the board. So we'll wait and see for these two. Actually, Peme is going to be coming across the line here for his first representative, or I guess semi-representative time. He was invalidated, ran a 10.9. Big snap of oversteer over that curb. See, that turn 1, especially as we saw last week, seems to be a very troublesome corner for a lot of these drivers. Everyone obviously using as much of that runoff as they can, trying to optimize their mid-corner speed, but just got to be careful getting up on that sausage curb. Roach with a half-second penalty. Gramenos coming across the line here, a 110.2, puts himself into P5. Not for long though, as Supa finds himself now in 5th. Sanchez up to 4th at a 109.943. Fairly impressive lap for him. As actually, I believe that's a new livery for him as well. He's drops quite a bit of red from that livery. Very nice looking one. Ryan out of the pits now. Back running again. Just scrolling through for the moment, seeing if there any, just making sure that the field is not using overtaking qualifying. Doesn't look like anyone has or is. Michael across the line, jumps into 4th. What a lap from Michael, 109.7. Fantastic lap for him. Sanchez currently P5. He'll be coming around to finish this lap. What's it going to look like for him? A 10th improvement, but won't improve position. Still a very respectable lap. Supa goes around out of turn 1. Keeps it off the wall, though. Very well held. Nico through the final couple of corners. What can he do for a lap time? Can he find the 9s? Crosses the line. jumps himself to 6th, the 109.864. We've already seen Supa. There's Alex, one of the new names, actually running 8th. Good showing from him. Our newest driver on the grid. Fastest lap of 110.1. Not bad. Ramino South still hunting for lap time. Here comes Ivan through that final corner, using a lot of the apex curb. Crosses the line, jumps himself to 9th, almost a half-second improvement. 2.5 minutes remaining for these drivers. Lester, Payme and James, I'm quite surprised they're as far down as they are. Probably just not quite up to grips with the car. Of course, we saw, I believe it was Payme won out at Le Mans. So very interesting to see him this far down the order. Hopefully he'll be able to find the lap time he's missing. I say as he goes and sits a 110.4. It's still half a second, or a full second down, excuse me, on Lawson now, who has set the fastest lap of the session. James returns to the pit lane. He's going to be pushing it to get a lap in here, but he should just have enough time. Lawson with a very impressive lap to get a 109.4. Let's ride on board with him here. If I can find a good camera angle for it. Charging up. So late on the brakes, but he's able to get it rotated very nicely. Watch as he now dives it down into turn 4 here, using a lot of curb on the outside, clips the apex. Second gear on exit. Not a lot of wheel spin, so a good exit. Late apexing it through 6. Using all the curb available to him, and then some through 7 and 8. Climbing now down to turns 10 and 11, the final 2 corners. Barely a lift at all for 10. That car is hooked up, but as long as he can keep it on the track, what's it gonna be? 109.374. Fastest lap of the session, my God! And he drops it on the exit of 1. 10th and a half on Super S2K. My goodness, on a track this short, that is an impressive lap time. I'm staggered. That the confidence and just sheer grip through turn 10 there. Barely a lift at all. Oh my goodness, time has expired. So these are the final laps of the session. Can Super S2K get even close to that? Oh, he's gone wide. That's going to be a time penalty. That's it. That's Super S2K done. Can Ryan find anything? Michael will start no better than 4th. Ryan, I believe, will be the last car over the line. Sanchez has finished Supa just ahead. Alex, in his first start, will start 8th, potentially. Scrolling through anyone else on the lap, no. James will start 15th. Ryan picked up a bunch of penalties. He will start 3rd. My goodness gracious, he finished 2nd last time out. I don't know if it's just even more setup improvements, or if he's just getting back used to running these cars again. But the man who has gone on record saying he only races Superformula in this game, Larson, has absolutely blitzed the field. 109.374 will take pole position by quite some margin. Holy moly. So, that is your starting grid. Position shouldn't change because I didn't see anyone mistakenly use overtake. So this will be your starting grid. Larson on pole position, a 109.374. Super S2K, a 10th and a half back, a 109.5. Ryan, the AMS teammate, 109.6. Michael, incredible qualifying for him to get himself into 4th, 109.7. Nico slots himself into 5th, a 109.78. Sanchez into 6th at a 109.8. Supa, the final car in the 109s at a 109.9. Alex, the newcomer to the series, a 110.1. Fantastic lap for him in his first race in the series. Great showing from him. Ivan will slot himself into 9th at a 110.2. Gramenos, only 100th of a second behind, not even, at a 110.248. Roach will start 11th at a 110.3. Payme 12th at a 110.4. Lester, only a 100th of a second, behind at a 110.473. Crocodile 14th at a 110.9. And then James rounds out the field at a 112.70, or well, goodness gracious, 112.710. As you will see in the chat, we will get rolling in 3 minutes' time. So with that said, we will just quickly run through a few of the rule reminders for everyone back at home. This race, because it is still technically a rerun, is confirmed to run drive throughout the race. So these drivers will be required to use the soft and medium compound tires. The hard is, as always, available to them. Whether or not they choose to run it is up to them. I can't say I remember what the pit strategies were from last time. I believe we had a couple drivers attempt the one stop. So that will be something to keep an eye out on. Other rules, cars who receive damage on lap 1 can pit and repair damage as normal, but after lap 1, they will have to wait 30 seconds for every part that is broken on the car, minus the front wing. So, for example, if they break a left front suspension and a rear wing, that will be a 1 minute wait for them in the pit lane before they can start repairing damage and taking new tires. Refueling is banned from the series. If they take any additional fuel, I believe it is a severe time penalty, if not disqualification. I can't say I remember exactly, but regardless, refueling is banned. And from that, I believe that is everything of major note. 69 laps ahead of us, as it was last time. Should be a very exciting race indeed, as we will get ready to go in just a couple moments. Session goes live as the drivers await the lights here for the Styrian Grand Prix. 15 of the best going at it for glory. The lights come on, the engines rev up, and we are underway. It is a good start. It is a great start for Larson. He is already well and clear of the AMS drivers. Super S2K did not get the start he realistically wanted. Ryan, with a huge snap of oversteer on exit, keeps it together, but he's now going to be under attack from Nico Arigata coming at Michael, running for, or battling for that fourth place position. They are side by side. Looks like it is potentially 3 wide a little bit further back. Everyone making it through cleanly so far. Payme and Lester, the two teammates, duking it out further in the back. Back up front, it is Larson already with a half-second lead. Super S2K needing to close in if he wants any shot at keeping up with him, I'd think. Going through turn 6 now. Nico up to 4th. Great start from him. Alex up to 5th. Where the hell did he come from? Great start for the rookie driver. Michael has dropped to 6th, but that's not really through any fault of his own. These other drivers just incredible pace off the launch. Nico already picking up a half-second penalty. Running through the grid. Has anyone used overtake? No. We are clean for the opening start. Lap 2 has begun. Overtake is now available to these drivers. Nico, you got to pull a bit more of a gap than that if you want to stay ahead of Alex. Michael still hanging on to the tail end of him. Sanchez also with a half-second penalty, nearly a little late on the brakes, keeps it together, no contact made. Supa's now going to look for a move here, coming down into turn 4, looks to the inside with the run, overtake in use, slings it down the inside, and he will take that 7th spot away. Supa making a great start here in Austria. Ivan has dropped down to 11th. Gramenos has also picked up a time penalty. James with a great getaway, already climbing his way up into the top 12. And then we have Payme, Lester, and Krakadilli at the back. James is on the mediums. Ivan actually running the soft tires, so that's a pretty poor start on that compound. Sanchez with a big slide out of the final corner, as the front of this pack is already very much spread out. Larson already over a second and a half clear. He's already broken slipstream to Super S2K. Top 3, about a second and a half between the 3 of them each. Further back, it's about a similar gap back to Alex, who's now up to 4th. Like I said, Nico had to serve that penalty. Now slots himself in behind Alex. And that leaves Michael now under fire from Supa. Michael running the medium, Supa on the soft, so that's why he's been able to make such a good start. Alex also running the soft, and the top 3, oh, that's why. So Adaptive is starting on the soft compound tire, so we expect him to really run away here then. So it'll be interesting to see what he ends up determining for his pit strategy here. As the leader on the soft compound tire, Super S2K, the first car running the mediums. I think so that's going to be where Super S2K has to make up his time, is through a faster pit strategy, depending on how this race unfolds. 2.5 seconds already after 3 and a bit laps. Larson is running away here. Looking further back, Alex beginning to close in on Ryan, excuse me. Of course, Alex running the soft compound tires compared to Ryan on the mediums. All these drivers got to be careful about track limits here. These few corners, turns 6 through 7, 6 through 8, excuse me, very easy to pick up time penalties on. And then, of course, these final 2 corners here as well. Got to be careful to keep it on the red and white. At least 2 tires on the red and white. Adaptive already down into the 110.8s. On a full tank of fuel, that's a very impressive getaway. As Alex continues to close in a little bit here. This has been a very impressive start for the rookie driver. It looks like Michael is starting to close back in on Nico, potentially. Only a second between them. Looking further back, Ivan now 3 wide battle. Gramenos going to back out of that. Probably a good call for him. Ivan now up to 8th, but already, how is he burned through that much overtake this early? My goodness. Oh, Gramenos might have just gotten forced wide a little bit from Roach as they continue to battle it out for the 9th place position. Gramenos will get that spot back, so I don't think Roach would get a time penalty for that. Conceded the spot. But, I mean, of course, he battled for it, but lost the spot in the end. Sanchez running in 11th, looking to make up ground on these drivers. Lester has gotten himself back up to 12th. James running it wide out onto the runoff area, down in 13th. Payme still running 14th. And then Quackadilly rending out the field. So Adaptive now, just over 5 laps into this race, or probably about 5.5 laps into this race now. 4-second lead over Super S2K. He is rocketing away. But how long will those soft tires last for? I mean, certainly there would have to be some amount of tire saving if he was even contemplating a one-stop. Or would he consider going for the two-stop and just blasting through the lap times? It will be very interesting to keep an eye out on. 4.5 back now. Super S2K still very good on his tires. Though, again, with the harder compound, you would expect that. Alex, actually, I've only just noticed, he's made the move. He is up to 3rd. Ryan is... He's not really had... Well, I guess this previous lap he had a problem. 13-0. I don't know if he picked up a time penalty or just ran wide somewhere, but he has lost that spot to Alex. Actually, that is a very consistent lap time we're seeing out of him. Pretty much all in the 111s. Very good start for him. But again, those soft tires, they're not going to hang on for very long, so got to make up the time while he can. Super S2K doing a little better on this lap. Hasn't lost a full... I think only lost about half a second on that lap. It was at an 11.5 to an 11.0. So yeah, half a second that time. Looking further down the field, Nico now finally starting to pull away a little bit from Michael, who's got Supa pretty much all over his gearbox. We might have a move coming up here into turn 3. Supa looking up the inside. They're going to leave each other the space, and Supa will be able to grab that position. Can Michael get it back, though, on the run down to turn 4? Supa looking very defensive into 4, but no. Michael's going to slot back in line. Supa will return to the racing line, and they will continue on their way. Ivan still running in 8th. Gramenos now with a half-second time penalty that he'll have to serve in a few moments. Ivan with actually, I think he probably has the best tire wear of all the soft tire runners at the moment. Gramenos will serve that half-second penalty. Roach now will close in on him. Looks around the outside at 10. Is there enough room? They're going to leave each other the space. Oh, it got close. Roach will pick up the half-second penalty, though. He did get too wide. 12 drivers I'm seeing being asked. No, we have 15 drivers racing today. Unfortunately, the leaderboard just not quite long enough to show everyone. Payme now closing back in on James for the 13th position. We'll see if he thinks about a move here coming down into turn 4. We're right on board with him. Does he look to the inside? No, he's going to sit in line behind the Scorpio next co-owner. Ooh, big slide of oversteer out of James. Coming down now into turn 6. Holding on to it for now. Dirty air really seeming to hurt Peme through that corner. Just not the confidence to run as fast as he would like through there, I would imagine. Looking back toward the front. Actually, hang on. We might have a little... not quite far enough back. Roach and Sanchez battling it out. Actually, I believe that was because Roach had the half-second penalty, which is why he's now back in 11th. Lester still running 12th, so looking back to that battle for the lead, potentially, hopefully, we would imagine later in this race. 5 or just over 5.5 seconds now, closing in on 6. Larson continuing to run away at the front, but of course he has that soft tire advantage. Working lap 10 right now, probably about halfway through his wear rate. So, somewhere around lap 20, lap 22, I would imagine he'll think about making his first pit if he keeps up this pace. Lap time's now down into the 11.6s. Actually, yeah, so now looks like the cutoff point has equalized between the soft and medium compound tire. Super S2K now able to match Larson's lap time, at least on that last occasion. Perhaps it was just a bit of a smaller mistake. We'll wait and see when it gets back to the line here, if it's back down to an 11.2 or 11.3. 4 tenths down on his personal best. That would put him at about an 11.3. Could also be that he's just not pushing as much as he was anymore. Happy to try to maintain that 5.6 second gap. Crosses the line in 11.69, so yeah. Certainly tire wear starting to kick in for our leader. But Super S2K an 11.7 as well. Matching the lap time, but not really able to make any gains just yet on that medium tire. Further back, Alex running an 11.8. Also relatively matching, still about 2 tenths down on Larson. And then Ryan now down into the 12s as tire wear starts to kick in for the field. It's actually quite a bit of a tailwind coming down into turn 4, so that could be an interesting point of contention for these drivers. It's also a tailwind down into the penultimate corner. So, oh goodness, excuse me. Something to keep an eye out for these drivers is every single little change in track conditions will affect the way that they have to drive these cars. Such is the level that they are driving at. Bit of a snap of oversteer for Ryan on exit of turn 1. As he looks to try to close back in on Alex. And again, I don't think it can be understated just how impressive of an opening run, or of an opening race, this has already been for Alex. First start of the series, and running comfortably in the top 3 for now. Obviously, we'll have to see how pit strategy unfolds for him, but certainly a great start for him. And then, of course, Larson finished second last time out, looking to finish one better. And certainly on pace to do that for now. little bit wide through turn 1, but actually that's probably the most stable we've seen any of the cars through there. So just avoiding that apex curb, really helping them out just with comfortability, I would imagine. Or just over relative comfort would be the correct grammatical term for that. Gap is coming down a little bit. Super S2K took out about 2/10 on that previous lap. When do we see the first of the pit stops to be made? So we will take a look further in the back. Gramanos and Ivan going at it. Gramanos going to look around the outside. Can he make the move happen? No, he's going to run it a little bit too wide. Ivan leaving him just enough space. Gramanos again fighting back on the outside. Can he make the move happen into 6? No. Not going to happen here. It's actually going to leave the door open for Sanchez up the inside. Oh, Gramanos got very wide there through 8. Gotta be careful with track limits. As Ivan actually first into the pits. Nico is first into the pits. Off the medium? Oh, Nico's picked up damage! When did Nico pick up damage? Oh, goodness gracious, Nico. Evidently, the Red Bull Ring, not a strong track for him. Oh my goodness, back-to-back races where he's had problems like this. Oh, what a shame. Hopefully he'll be able to recover a little bit if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive, but dang, that stinks. Looking back up the grid, where is Ivan? Ivan running fit. Hang on a minute. Oh, Nico never repaired the damage. That's why. I was gonna say, how did he come out ahead of Ivan? He has to wait 30 seconds to repair the front suspension damage. He's gonna continue running with it. No, now he's gonna come into the pits to fix it. Or I wonder if he picked up the damage on the pit entry somehow. And that's why. Very interesting. But then again, at that point, then why is he coming into... Nico has had a very interesting race already. We'll leave it at that. As Adaptive into the pits for his first stop. I would imagine this is a scheduled stop for him, but only 16 laps on these tires. So we'll keep that in mind for our soft tire runners, about 15-16 laps they can get out of them. Alex is actually going to continue on though, but he is rapidly being caught by Ryan. Adaptive now out on the medium tire, will exit the pits in 5th, sorry. Supa is right there. That'll be an overtake that Adaptive looks to get done immediately here, down into 3, and will do. Little bit of contact. I don't think he was expecting Supa to be there on the exit. No damage to either car though, so should be fine. So Adaptive now up into 4th. 16 seconds behind Super S2K, our leader. And we'll see how quickly he can start bringing that gap down. Back up toward the front. Alex dives it into the pits now. Looking to get off of those soft compound tires. Excuse me. adaptive through already, as is Supa, as is most of the field now. So Alex exits the pits now, like Larson, onto the medium tire and down in 9th, potentially 10th, depending on how big of a run Lester has, but it doesn't look like he will catch. So, your top 3, Super S2K, who is yet to pit, but running the mediums. Ryan, teammate, also running the mediums, yet to pit. Adaptive, the first car who has made a pit stop, currently now out running on fresh medium compound tires. Supa running in 4th, the first driver still running the old softs, yet to make a pit stop. Who is leading the championship? That would be Super S2K is your championship leader. I will see if I can find the points document. As Gramenos comes into the pits, don't believe it's that big of a gap. There's our standings. That is light standings. Okay. Just got to make sure I'm clicking on the correct link. So Super S2K lead. He has a 9-point lead over Nico in the championship. That is assuming drop rounds in effect at the moment. So Nico 9 points behind at the moment. Drift King in 3rd in the standings. He is, I gotta do mental math here, just about 20 points behind his teammate in the championship. Payme is actually 4th in the standings, but quite a ways back. Philo, who is unfortunately not racing with us here today, in 5th, in the standings. Lester 6th. I believe that is Sanchez 7th in the standings. Gramenos is 8th. Supa is 9th. Who is this? Oh, that's Michael. Okay, so Michael is 10th in the standings. Ivan is 11th. Unfortunately, a bunch of these drivers, their names on SimGrid not translating over to their nicknames in-game. So that's my little bit of confusion there. But Super S2K currently a 9-point lead in the championship over Nico. I would expect that to grow by a considerable margin after today, as Nico has already had 3 races where, you know, he really needs the drop rounds. This would make 4. And Super S2K hasn't really had that bad of a stat sheet. He had a bit of a rough one out at Le Mans, thanks to contact early, or phantom contact early. It should be said. It was just desync caused him to plummet down the order, and then of course it was a recovery drive at Bathurst in the opening rounds, but he was able to recover from last to second. And then I guess the only other race that really hasn't gone very well for Super S2K would have been Suzuka. But even then, he was dominating early, and then just an unfortunate error, lost the back end out of turn 1, destroyed the car, and probably by today, our damage standards now would have been out of the race, but was still able to recover to, I believe, a top 5. So Super S2K, you know, he has the drop rounds in effect for him, but with those, he technically hasn't finished off the podium yet. Same can also be said for Ryan, but despite the fact he's not finished off the podium, he currently only has the 1 win to his name at Bathurst. He will serve a second time penalty here for track limits. Adaptive now getting back into his stride here. We saw he exited the pits about 16 and a half back. He is now 14 and a half back, so 2 seconds removed after about 8 or so laps. Closing in very slowly but surely on Super S2K. Hasn't made a mistake since his pit stop. Very consistently running in the about the mid 111s and slowly getting faster as the fuel burns off. Probably about a third of the way through this race now, I believe. The 2 leaders, Super S2K and Ryan, still yet to pit. So this will be a great indication for how long those medium tires can run for. And certainly give us a bit of an indication as to whether or not they're going to attempt a one-stop here. Still a long way to go. Michael now up into 4th. Another one of the drivers yet to pit, as is Sanchez. Alex, the next of the drivers who have made a pit stop, now making his way up through the ranks. Roach yet to pit, Lester yet to pit, Payme yet to pit, James yet to pit, Supa has pit, Quackadilly has not, Ivan has pit, Gramenos has pit, and Nico back into the pits again. What on earth is... I think Nico's having quite a few issues here. This is very strange to see out of him. Just not... Highly unfortunate. James now comes in for his first stop of the race. Will come out on the soft compound tire, so he's now met the tire requirement and picks up a 3-second time penalty for pit line infringement. Back up front. Holy mackerel, Adaptive is there. And by there, I mean he is within 2 seconds of second place. I don't know if Ryan just is struggling with pace at the moment. Adaptive is running almost a second faster. Well, we'll stay on this battle when he inevitably catches at this rate. And we'll also keep an eye on Alex, who's also making his way back up through the grid. Half a second between him and Sanchez, charging up to turn 3. Sanchez going defensive. Alex with the purple sector. Sanchez thought he ran it deep, actually kept it on the track. Alex now going to slot back into the slipstream. Had a great exit here. Going to look to the inside. Can he send it under the brakes into turn 4? Yes, he can. He will just get it stopped in time before he runs it into the back of Michael. And he is now back up into the top 5. Those fresh tires working a true. Got to be careful for track limits. As I was saying, back up into the top 5. And with Nico now floundering at the back of the grid over a lap down, you know, this could be a great result for him. 0.6 the gap to Michael as he gets started on this lap here. We will look momentarily. Battle for third, still just over half a second, so we will drop back to Alex, looking to make the move on Michael. Michael looking defensive at turn 3. Oh, just a bit of decent contact, I would think. Gonna push Alex off the circuit. Will hold on to 5th for the time being. I don't think that was intentional contact by any means from Michael. Just, unfortunately, a little bit of desync kicked him out wide. But it's going to cost him a bit of lap time, and he'll have to set it up again. So back up for that battle for third. Adaptive's there. Ryan with another poor exit. Larson's going to look to sit in the slipstream, uses the overtake. Can he set up the move here? Ryan goes major defensive. Larson round the outside, gets it up over the curb though, gonna hurt his exit. But he's gonna get the run right back into turn 4. Ryan all the way to the inside trying to defend. Can Larson send it round the outside? They're gonna fight for it. They're gonna remain side by side down into turn 6. Who's gonna get this here? Larson with the tire advantage will clear. An incredible battle for them. That was fantastic wheel-to-wheel action between them. Well done, gentlemen. Back in that battle for 4th, side by side, Alex and Michael. That looked like desync, I would hope. Alex not quite as clean as Larson's move on Ryan, but he will get back up into 4th place. And immediately going to start running away from Sanchez and Michael. As Roach now with another half-second penalty. And we'll probably pick up another one for that. And does. Lester running 8th, Supa 9th, Quackadilly running 10th, but still yet to pit. Gramenos has pit running 11th. Then there's Pebe, Ivan, James, and Nico, I believe, is now officially retiring the car in 15th. So a horrible, this will be his worst finish of the season, is Nico. So highly unfortunate for him. Brewing battle for the lead. Adaptive now on just about 10.5 seconds behind Super S2K. You know, I think he's already put himself within a range where if he decides to go for a pit stop here, you know, he could run this out a long ways, get to within about 15, 16 laps to go, strap on the soft compound tire, and just blitz the field again. Super S2K still has to make a pit stop. That's required. As Roach and Lester now come into the pits. Super S2K, yet to make a pit stop, has to run the softs at some point. Given the pace we've seen out of Larson here, I think he's in a fantastic spot to win this. He's going to continue to close the gap this entire time while Super S2K is out on this compound of tire, or on this set of tires. Just simply because of A, the tire advantage, and then B, it's seemingly the pace advantage that Larson has. Certainly at this circuit. It'll be very interesting to see how the pace swing might happen at other tracks, as it looks like Super S2K actually had a bit of a moment through turn 1. He's lost almost a second. Or not, sorry, not turn 1. It'll be that would have been the final corner. Adaptive now under 10 seconds to the lead. And Ryan now with another half-second penalty. Still 20 seconds back to Alex, though. So about a pit stop gap. So the top 3 seem pretty well situated. Then it's Alex from Sanchez, from Michael from Supa, Gramenos, Quackadilly, and Payme. Now your top 10. Ivan closing in on Payme. Ivan looking to make a move potentially here. Got a good exit out of turn 1, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to think about a move into 3. Perhaps a move into 4 if he can get a good enough exit here. Gonna late apex it, straight line exit. Ryan now into the pits. 30 laps on those mediums, and he's calling it quits. So, question now remains, what does he do for... Because I would have to imagine this is now a 2-stop for him. Because there's no way he's taking softs to the end. But he's on to the softs now. So can he run these softs long enough to go 2 sets of softs to the end? Or will he need to run a set of mediums? We'll see what that tire wear ends up looking like for him. He's come out of the pits just ahead of Sanchez, which is very good. That he doesn't get held up in any more traffic than he needs to. He will need to make a move on Alex at some point. And Super S2K now into the pits a lap later. We'll keep an eye on this. As Larson already through. Might actually be interesting to see where Alex comes out in relation to Super S2K here. Or no, never mind. Super S2K is going to be well clear. Comes out onto the softs. Again, we gotta keep an eye on the 2 AMS drivers to see if they can keep... Where did Alex go? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was misreading it. I was expecting to see Ryan with the AMS tag, and he doesn't have it in his nickname, and I don't think he has had it for quite some time, so my apologies there. Ryan closing the gap little by little on Alex for that podium spot. Only been off the podium once or maybe twice so far this season. I can't say I remember too well, but it will be a very interesting battle to see if he can hold on to that podium spot. I think this could genuinely be a battle for the podium here towards the end, because both of these drivers will need to, or likely need to, pit again. I can't imagine Alex going to the end on those tires. Oh, excuse me, sorry. As memory is now coming into mind, I believe Adaptive was the driver last time out that we ended up spending half an hour trying to get privacy settings fixed. So hopefully, post-race interviews, you folks will be able to hear from him. If not, then I apologize that we will miss out on hearing from our race leader. Assuming, of course, he is able to keep it on the podium. For this, what is now second half of the race, as we are now reaching about the halfway point. The AMS drivers setting the fastest laps of the race now, but of course they are now on the softs. The track has rubbered in a little bit more, and they are, of course, now about halfway through their fuel tanks. So naturally starting to pick up a bit of pace. Super S2K realistically needs to really close the gap here between himself and Larson if he wants a shot at the win here. because I would imagine that both of these drivers will be thinking about making their final stops at about the same time. And the earliest you could realistically pit to make it to the end would probably be 16, maybe 17 to go with the lighter fuel loads. So, gotta get to about lap 50 or so. Maybe 51. She put on... Well, to be fair, you only put it on a few laps ago. So, 33... Or 30... He put it on lap 31. So just doing a very quick mental math, that would be... that would be over 20 laps to get to about the point where he would need to pit for softs again. Which, to be fair, given how much tire was technically still left on the carcass for Larson at the end of his first stint, it could potentially be doable, just wouldn't be, it certainly wouldn't be comfortable. Gap now going to be just about 10 seconds as he exits turn 3, makes the run to turn 4. And it has certainly been a race of pit strategy here today. Ryan has now cleared Alex for that podium spot. Supa kind of on his own, running in 5th. Gramenos just ahead of Sanchez, running in 6th and 7th. But of course, Sanchez with the half-second penalty, that will drop him to about a second back. But on the fresher tires and with a compound advantage, he's not going to be able to make a move here. So he's probably going to have to sit in behind, take the penalty, and then try to think about making the move. Michael now running in 8th, Lester down in 9th. Ivan looks like he's coming under attack from Roach at 11th. James now back up to 12th. Paymay running 13th, and Quackadilly will round out our grid of the drivers still out on track in 14th. As Alex, did he go off? I think Alex just went for a spin. Oh, what a shame. He's been running so well. Alex now with a half-second penalty. I think he's lost it at turn 1. No damage on the car for him, fortunately. But that will now drop him down into 5th, with work to do to recatch Supa. So with the field relatively spread out for the time being, I'm going to take a quick moment to try to rest my voice, as I feel it going a bit hoarse. I don't know if it's coming across the mic, but don't go anywhere, folks. We will keep an eye on the action. I will be back in just a moment. Well, folks, if I had an ad roll, I'd play it there, but regardless, welcome back to the round 9 of the Scorpio Superformula Championship. A bit of a three-way battle here, brewing for 10th place between Ivan, Roach, and James, all closing in on one another. Roach with a big... words, goodness gracious. Roach with a big tire advantage over Ivan at the moment, but with a half-second penalty, so not really able to make anything happen with it. And then James currently out running on the soft compound tire. It's an old set, which he's still hanging on to, but still able to put up respectable lap times with it. Able to keep up with these two as they continue to battle. And of course, back up toward the front, we have a bit of a battle between Gramenos and Sanchez, with Michael starting to close back in. Looked like Gramenos and Sanchez ran a little bit wide in turn 1. Fortunately, no time penalties picked up for either of them, as Adaptive makes the pit stop. Comes into the pits now, and he put on these tires 25 laps ago. So if he wants to go to the end here, he's got to run another set of medium. What is he doing? Adaptive. If your plan was to go for a set of softs to the end here, that is a very early time to do it. Oh, goodness gracious. What? Okay. Well, he's come out immediately behind Ryan here. So we'll see how much of a team game he pulls for Super S2K in holding off Adaptive here. That's still nearly 30 laps to go. It's just under 30 laps to go. Those soft tires, there's no way he's making it to the end on that. You know, a set of mediums and maybe, but... Oh, Ryan with a huge snap of oversteer. Oh my goodness, how did he not lose that? Well, things have certainly taken a turn here. I'm not entirely sure why he made the pit stop. I don't think he made a mistake. There was no indication of a yellow flag anywhere. He certainly didn't pit for damage there. It was just a routine pit stop. He looks to the outside on Ryan here. Can he sweep it around the outside? No, Ryan's going to close the door. But look at that time gap, bro. This is going to absolutely drop Larson right back into the clutches of Super S2K here. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm trying to make sense of this. I don't think I can come up with a reason why he would have pit that early. Oh, Ryan's very wide, though. That's going to give him Larson... That's basically just let Larson through there. Ryan just too late on the brakes into turn 1. He's going to try to fight him back into turn 3. Larson with a defensive masterclass there, though. And with the tire advantage, it's going to be very hard for Ryan to make a move. Does he think about chucking one up the inside? No, too far back. And that's going to do it. But 17 back when he realistically was only 10 back. He's lost about 7 seconds in that battle. He has got a qualifying lap to the end here. Just nothing but qualifying laps to the end. Cannot afford any mistakes. And lap traffic is going to be a pain. Sets a new personal best. But he's also out of overtake, so what does that mean for him? When it comes to battling with Super S2K, not having any overtake to use, it's going to be slipstream and driver skill alone if he's going to have any shot at battling. Super S2K, meanwhile, still has over half of his overtake left. And probably the better strategy, because he's only going to need to pit here once. I would imagine both of these drivers now need to pit once again. What on earth is... Well, this will be something for the interviews afterward, because... I really think Adaptive's just thrown away the win here. Why on earth did he pit so early? At the very least, he is definitely making inroads on Super S2K. But he has got to close that gap like nothing else. He has to close that gap so, like, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how he intends to go to the end here on softs. Especially when he only did 15, 16 laps on his opening stint. Now, I understand fuel burn and whatnot, but that's not 25, or that's not almost 30 laps worth of... he's got to double his previous lap count on the softs to make it to the end. So, realistically, he has two options. He can either save his tires and try to make it to the end, or he can do what he's doing right now and push like it's qualifying to the very end. And then suffer the fact that he's going to need to make yet another pit stop. So, with that in mind, that both our two leaders will need to pit at least once more each. I say at least. They will both pit once more. That is your gap for the lead. How quickly can Adaptive bring that gap down before Super S2K eventually makes his pit stop? Which he could, in theory, make in about 5 laps' time. Because in 5 laps, he will absolutely be able to get to the end on softs. I don't know, folks. This will be interesting. Super S2K going for... Oh, goodness. How many races in a row has he won? Over the past however many races. We'll take a look. Yeah, so excluding round 7, which was Le Mans, which is currently one of his 2 drop rounds, Super S2K has won 4 of the last 5 races. Yeah, this will be interesting. We've only had 4 different winners so far this season over the course of our 8, now working 9 races. Super S2K has won 4. Nico has won 2. Ryan has won one, and then Payme has won the other. If Adaptive or Larson can pull off the win here, that would be his first win of the season and be the 5th different winner in the series. The good news is he's running over a second a lap faster. The bad news is, of course, he's got to run over a second a lap faster to the end of the race, basically. Or for as long as, certainly for as long as possible. S2K pits and gets himself onto fresh tires, that advantage is not going to be possible. The best strategy for him at this point would be run as hard and as fast as possible on this set of tires, and then the moment Super S2K jumps into the pits, you need to follow him in and then hope to God that you are just as fast, and realistically faster than him, on equal tires, because you cannot afford to lose any gap to him waiting any amount of laps once Super S2K comes into the pits. Gap under 10 seconds again. That last lap a 10.6 to a 12.2. So about a second and a half faster that time. Now 19 laps to go. So we're starting to get into the window where a set of soft tires will make it to the end. Gramenos into the pits. I think this could be the start of the final round of pit stops here. Gramenos certainly has been one of the better drivers so far this season on his tires. He will come out of the pits and onto the softs. Will exit the pits just behind Super S2K and just ahead of Roach, and that battle will begin to ensue. We'll keep an eye on this for a moment. Gramenos ran wide. Got a decent enough exit though, and of course he has the tire advantage over Roach, so he should be able to pull away. Now this also means, because he's on the fresh tires, how much of a nuisance does he start causing for Super S2K here? Sanchez into the pits. As is Michael. Alex. Wait a minute. Okay, those pit stops can't be legit because it's time. Okay. I think timing and scoring is having a little bit of an issue. Super S2K is into the pits. Lap 51. I said this is about where the window was going to start to open. Adaptive stays out. Oh, goodness. Adaptive, you need to push like the wind. A 1:10.1. A 1:10.1. Actually, I've just remembered his qualifying time was a 1:09.3. Of course, that was on fresh tires. Ryan also into the pits. 15 seconds the gap between himself and Super S2K. He needs to... He has a decision to make. Does he think he can make it to the end on these tires? And if he doesn't think he can, he needs to come into the pits now, because that gap is only going to come down. Or does he think Super S2K will burn up his stuff too early? I don't know. He stays out yet another lap. Gap still about 16 seconds. He's not... Super S2K hasn't started to make inroads yet. that might actually be a saving grace. As long as Adaptive can keep growing that gap, stay out. You see, I said he needed to come into the pits that time, assuming that Super S2K was immediately going to start closing in. Super into the pits for his final stop. Ryan now running third by quite the comfortable margin. Alex is in for what should be his final stop. 16-2 the gap. I think that is starting to equalize now. We'll keep an eye on it. And now it is starting to come down. Super S2K has those tires up to top now, I think. And yeah, he is closing in. Adaptive, if you can't make it to the end, you need to pit now. And he's already passed the pit lane. He's also now starting to be held up by Roach, which is not going to help his cause. I believe he pit for those tires, what, 14 laps? 14 laps ago? I wish I could see when he made that last pit stop. I just don't know. I believe it was about lap... It might have been 20 laps ago. No. He didn't pit on 35. I believe... lap 40, I thought? If someone in stream chat wants to go through and just double check that for me, I can't really tell. Gap now 15 seconds. And Adaptive is into the pits. He's calling it there. He will get that. He's going to get himself 42. Okay. So about 16 laps on those tires. Same amount of time as it was on his first stint. He's into the pits now. What is 16 to go? Super S2K is through. And the gap now for the lead. We'll see here in just a moment. Oh, hang on a minute here, folks. He's out of the pits. He cannot afford to get held up by Lester here, though. 6 seconds the gap. Just over 6 seconds. It will be extremely tough. But if he has the pace advantage that we saw in qualifying, this might not be over just yet. Coming into this race, we talked about how in the previous running that most of these drivers only went for one. Some of these drivers went goodness gracious. Most of these drivers went for 2 stops. Some attempted the 1 stop. This time, we're seeing Larson attempt to make a 3 stop work. 5.5 the gap. Folks, I don't believe it. I think that might actually be a second to lap. He doesn't have overtake, but a second to lap, that might not even be enough for Super S2K. It is, in fact, just under a second to lap. Larson is not going down without a fight. How well can Super S2K manage those tires while still holding that gap? We're watching at the line. Super S2K might have also had lap traffic to deal with on that previous lap. Just so much confidence for Larson through turn 10. That is absolutely insane. As he comes up on the back of Ivan, 4.8. Those final 2 corners is where he makes up so much time. so much grip, so much confidence through those final 2 corners. Under 4.8. Not quite as good of an exit, but in the slipstream. Was that a little bit of contact? I'm not quite sure. Ivan's going to let him through either way. He gained a 10th through that corner, though. Let's just watch the time gap through here. They're breaking even through the middle sector, but then through these final 2 corners, you know, starts it at 4.7, 4.6, 4.5. He gained 2/10 alone in those final 2 corners. Corners which are barely lifts for him, but he's gaining 2/10. And he gains another one at turn 1. We still have over 10 laps to go. He only needs half a second a lap. Another purple sector. Fuel continuing to burn off here. At what point do we see a 9? Super S2K lapping in the low to high 110s. .4 the gap. Larson is coming, folks. That's insane. He took 2/10 out in turn 10 alone. Barely a lift. 3/10 faster, a 109.8. He found so much time through that final set. He was only 0.04 of a second up through the middle sector. He's finding time on himself. 3.3 the gap. That is over a second. 109.8 to a 110.7. Just under a second. This race is absolutely not over. I'm at a loss for words. Where on earth is he finding the grip? I know he has a 3-lap fresher tires, but my goodness, it is not worth this much. Super S2K crosses the line now, a 110.8. Adaptive, a 110.0. Gap under 3 seconds with just 9 laps to go. Let's ride on board with him. This is absolutely incredible to watch. I mean, he's braking at the 50 board. He is braking at the 50 board for turn 3. He doesn't have any overtake left to use. This is pure pace. There is zero. He has 0 overtake boost left. He's been running these fastest laps without any overtake advantage. He ran a 109.3 in qualifying, and he is practically running those same lap times now in the race. Under 2.5 seconds for the lead. That was barely a lift. It's barely a lift for turn 10. He's just blipping the throttle. 109.9 to a 110.6. How much overtake did... Super S2K is all over the overtake. I'm trying to see the overtake, but unfortunately all the chats are popping up on top of it, so I can't really see. Yeah, Super S2K has 0.25% of the overtake left. That's it. I don't think it's going to be enough. And he still has the tire advantage. It's not like he's burning through him faster than Super S2K. He's taken out another 2/10 in turn 4 alone. He has not put a foot wrong all day. The only reason he could potentially lose this race is because he went for the 3-stop. I don't think that was quite as nice as he would have wanted through turn 11, and the lap time shows it. But he's still gaining under 2 seconds. He's not had a time penalty all day. Neither is Super S2K, but we're going to have an absolute dogfight for the win here. I believe it's, is that 7 or 8 laps to go? I don't know. I'm too focused on this to watch the math. Super S2K pulls back ahead because he used the overtake a little bit. Gap back over 2 seconds. Both cars pretty even through turn 4. Does Dirty Air start to hinder him? He finds another 10th through 8 and 9. 10th and a half. It's so incredible to watch those final 2 corners. It's unbelievable. Another 10th found. A 1:10.3 to a 1:10.6. I think Dirty Air is starting to play a factor, but all he needs is a couple more tenths and he's going to start getting slipstream off of Super S2K. 1.8 the gap. It has started to stabilize a little bit. Has he used his overtake too early? 1.6 the gap. He's gained 4 tenths on Super S2K from this point on the previous lap. Super S2K's only advantage is his acceleration out of most of these corners. What happened to, actually, that's a fair point. What happened to Alex here? Unfortunately, I think he's just had a couple errors late, unfortunately. It's dropped him back to 8th. Very unfortunate for him, but we will focus back on our battle for the lead. 1.2 seconds, that is it. He's in the slipstream. Another 1:10.3 to a 1:10.8 this time. This time, adaptive with the better exit. Where does he think about making a move? And then, of course, like I've said so many times on these broadcasts, the old racing adage, catching is one thing, passing is another. He has no overtake to help him out. It will be pure pace alone that he has to make this happen. Gap is officially under a second. He's made an extra pit stop, and he's back within striking distance. 4 laps to go. Oh my goodness, I need a breather before we get into this properly. All right. Super S2K a little bit better under the brakes for turn 3. Gap back over a second for now. Where does Larson think about the move? Super S2K, good question. He has... The chat still covered it for me, but however much that is. Oh wait, Super S2K doesn't have any left. He might have like a pixel left of it, but that is it. They are equal. This is a pure pace showdown now to the end. Actually, I think now it's 4 to go. My apologies. Now it's 4 to go. Larson really likes that wider line through turn 1. He's leaving himself so much room to the apex. It's allowing him to get so much of a more comfortable run out of turn 1. Half a second. Can he get under it? No. Super S2K with the better exit out of turn 3. Gap growing back to 0.8. It was the same top 2 last time out here, but this time Larson is much closer. Will lap traffic come into play here? The back end of the field going through the final corner now. 7/10. Now that he's in the dirty air, Larson having to lift a lot more for turn 10. That advantage is all but gone. Super S2K running the middle of the track, trying to break the slipstream. Under half a second. Super S2K with a better entry. Found him at 10th through turn 1. Larson closing back in. Can he find the pace to get around? They are both dead even on fuel to the end. 3 laps to go. 2.5 at this point. Under 3/10. They are right there. Nose to tail. Larson fakes it to the inside. Super S2K, I think he got faked into defending that. Under half a second still. Larson looking to get any amount of clean air on the nose. He was using all the track on the entry to the final corner. Oh, he's wide. He better hope he didn't pick up a time penalty for it. I don't believe it. He didn't. Race on. No time penalty. They will keep going. 4/10. Under the brakes, he's using every single centimeter of track available to him. He's squirming the back end, trying to find traction on the exit. That AMS machine really good on out of the corners. Clean air probably helping him keep the thing planted. Where can Adaptive make the pass? He's a little bit wide. He's going to lose a little bit of time through there, just too close. But he's going to gain a little bit back here. Coming up now, 1 lap to go. Can he find anywhere to make the pass? Super S2K did not have a good exit out of the final corner. Last lap here. 3/10. Talk about a Verstappen and Hamilton performance. They are 40 seconds ahead of the field. Oh, and he's picked up the penalty! And that's going to seal the deal. And the battle ends in such an anticlimactic fashion. He pushed so unbelievably hard. He got there. But in the end, dirty air and a lack of overtake make the difference. He will stay right on the back bumper of Super S2K in case he makes a mistake. But I think that will do it. Michael gets out of the way. Oh my goodness. What an absolute shame. The 3-stop didn't work out. And in the end, it will be Super S2K capitalizing on a strategy blunder to win once again here at the Red Bull Ring. Adaptive brings it home second in an absolutely astonishing run to the finish. Ryan only just now exiting turn 4. Oh my goodness. He might not have won, but gentlemen, take a bow. That was such an incredible fight to the finish. Larson and Ornell, what a battle. What a battle. Ryan will come home to finish 3rd, and how about Supa? 4th place, nearly on the podium. What a fight back for him. Great result for Supa. Sanchez 5th. Alex in his debut finishes 6th. Gramenos all over the back of him. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move into the final corners here. Oh, he thought about it. Hang on a minute. And never mind. Gramenos through for 6th. The stewards will have to take a look at that one. Gramenos 6th. Alex 7th. Michael will finish 8th. We saw him cross the line directly behind the leaders. Ivan 9th. Roach will round out our top 10. Lester 11th. Queccadelli 12th. And Payme will retire the car in 13th. James 14th. And it was Nico, our 2nd place competitor in the championship, will DNF the car early. Oh my goodness. What a race. Can we have the how many races left are there? 8? Can we have the remaining 8 races here, please? All 8 of them. This track has been fantastic for the action. What a battle. An absolutely dominant display by both of these drivers. Oh my goodness. That will do it. Don't go anywhere yet, just yet, folks. We will have post-race interviews coming in just a few moments. Wow. Wow. I'm at a loss for words. An incredible drive. An absolutely incredible display from these two drivers. Fantastic. All right, let's see if we can get the podium finishers in here for an interview. Wow. Hello, hello.
Bro, adaptive, you're on something, dude. Like, you're actually insane.
Yep.
It was very...
That was a good one, yeah. Good
Dude,
race.
I was worried about... Actually, I'm not going to say much before in case that's a question, but... No, that was really close at the end.
All right. Gentlemen, just make sure your privacy settings are sorted so that way the stream can hear you. Anyone still in stream, if you can let me know if you can hear all 3 of our podium setters. Would be greatly appreciated. Once we have that checked, we'll go ahead and get interviews underway.
And I gotta congrats Sapidia. Sapidia did amazing.
Yes, Supa did phenomenal. Nah, that was so close at the end. I was actually very worried, and June got in my way. I'm like, there's no way I'm losing because June got in my way. I was so scared. Nah,
I was personally petrified. Coming out onto that last set of softs, I was like, okay, I might be able to sort of keep up with these guys a little bit later. And then I looked at my fuel and I was like, oh, I'm short, by a lot. So that was
All right.
fun.
Adaptive, can you just say something for the stream so that way I can check that we can hear you?
Yeah, well, we can hear you, but
Yeah. Okay, so the party can hear you, but the stream can't. Unfortunately.
Adaptive, what are you playing on? PS4 or PS5? Okay, I have no clue how to do it on the PS5.
Yeah, I don't think it would reset unless it's changed back.
I can search up on YouTube how you can do it.
Yeah, I could do that.
Wait, what would I even search up?
How to change privacy settings in PS voice chat. That probably should bring it up.
Alright. So we're having a few technical difficulties here, folks, just trying to make sure we can get Adaptive on the mic so that way everyone here on stream can hear him. I believe everyone should be able to hear both Ornell and Ryan, our two AMS drivers. Excuse me. So just give us a few moments, folks. We'll be with you momentarily with those post-race interviews. So in the meantime, I guess you'll just hear us going through trying to figure out how we fix some privacy settings.
Okay, Larson. So you have to go to the PS5 home menu and then go to your settings. And then you have to... Oh, so you went to select users and accounts, and then you went to privacy, and then customize your privacy settings? Like, you did that already?
Check the PlayStation Party setting itself, because I think it can do it in there too. Yeah, if you bring up the PlayStation Party, you should be able to see somewhere where it says View Party Settings, and it should be there. Like, at least that's how it is on PS4. I don't know how it is on PS5.
I think now
I'll look on the stream, see if you can hear anything.
because in the party I changed the setting.
Hallelujah, we got him.
We got him?
We got him. All right.
That was the best hallelujah I've heard in a while.
All right. So with that finally fixed, we will move ahead with post-race interviews here for Scorpio Superformula Round 9. We will get started with our third place podium sitter. Ryan, congrats on yet another podium finish for you. It certainly looked like it was getting a bit close between you and Supa toward the end there. And then we also saw Alex had quite a good run going for him. Unfortunately, something happened where he ended up finishing 8th. Do you think that Alex could have been a bit of a trouble if he had kept it up there, or do you think you were going to be able to hold on to 3rd place?
I was personally doing pretty good with the race. I saw Alex with me most of the time. I was like, okay, so I'm going to be fighting with him. And then, I don't remember which pit cycle it was, probably the last one. He was just nowhere near me, so I didn't see what happened to him, so I have no clue what happened. But at the beginning of the race and quite a ways through it, it did seem like me and him would be fighting for what looked to be 3rd place. And then Sapedia came out of nowhere. I don't remember where he started, but he did come out of nowhere, and props to him, because it's not easy finishing there in this type of field.
All right. Well, moving on, actually a little bit earlier in the race, we saw after a pit cycle, Adaptive came out of the pits pretty much right on your tail, and then you were able to hold them off for a few laps. Was that a bit of a team play, just holding them off for a few laps to put them about 7 seconds behind your teammate, or was that just general fighting for position that?
It was partial team play, partial see if I can burn his tires up, because the way the race was going, I thought that was going to be his last stop, and I was like, that's kind of brave to do 27 laps on the soft tire, but it is possible. I did it last time we were out here. I did do that. But he ended up going for another stop, so thinking that it was going to be his last stop, I tried to also burn his tires so that maybe I could also get back into it, but it didn't. Even if he went again around, like stayed on that set of tires, I still wouldn't have caught him because I had to save so much fuel at the end there.
All right. Well, congratulations on the third place finish. Still a great result for you once again, and hopefully we'll see you back on the podium next week at Brands Hatch. Moving on now to our second place finisher, the previously mentioned Adaptive Larson. Let me know what you'd prefer to be called, by the way.
Larson is right.
Fantastic result for you. Second place again, and I believe this is your second start in the series, but a very impressive drive nonetheless, it must be said. We just spoke about you made that pit stop with 27 to go onto a set of soft tires. Was that a planned stop, or were you...
No, I calculated wrong. I meant to pit at 50 or something like that. But, yeah, I went like 42, I think. And then I realized that I messed up, so I made another pit.
Well, still a very impressive comeback drive, it must be said, to reclaw over a pit stop gap to, catch back up to Super S2K. Was there we saw in qualifying, I don't necessarily know if what you have for a setup, but you were barely lifting, it looked like, for turn 10. It was just like the RPM barely dropped as you went through that corner. Is this one of the tracks where you just have steps so many hours into a setup that you just have so much confidence for that corner, or is it just something that you've been able to practice for many years now?
I practice a lot, but the penultimate lap, the penultimate corner, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. When it's on low fuel, you can just lift a little bit. The car can handle it. Especially it depends on the wind as well. But yeah, even on my last stint, I just lifted there a little bit on the race in qualifying also.
All right. Well, Congratulations once again. An absolutely outstanding drive, even with the strategy blunder. Hopefully we'll see you back on the podium again next time out at Brands Hatch. Fantastic drive. And
congrats to Super S2K as well. He drive very
absolutely.
Good.
And moving on now to our race winner, making it 5 of the last 6 races won. Super S2K, another fantastic result. Really just almost putting on a clinic, it seems, in this series now, with the recent run of form. You and Adaptive were 40 seconds ahead of the field at the checkered flag. Was that just down to pure pace, or do you think that people behind you might have had just a little bit of strategy issues?
Again, first off, big congrats to Adaptive and obviously my teammate Ryan. 2 really good races driven. In terms of everyone else behind, I think not necessarily strategy is the issue, but pace and consistency. Those are the 2 really big things, especially at a track where it's so easy to claim yourself some penalties. It's really important to make sure you're within the white lines. And I think the people who are at the top of the series are always doing that, and they are fairly consistent, have really good pace. I could just have a nice neutral mix of those two things, and that leads to the really good results. So I think overall, just really balanced drivers are at the front. So yeah.
Absolutely, and certainly a very valid point to be made. Until the last lap, I believe both you and Adaptive were the only two drivers over the course of the race to not pick up a time penalty at any point. So congratulations on that. In terms of the championship, we saw Nico had just an absolute one to forget, it could be said. Dead last in today's running. Obviously, drop rounds will help out with that a little bit, but I believe that will still give you a much larger advantage in the championship, as one of his sixth place finishes now becomes a counted round. And I believe it will also now put Ryan back up into second in the championship standings. So from points perspective, how does that make you feel?
Makes you feel phenomenal, man. I'm not gonna lie. I saw him in the pit lane a while, and every lap I just passed by lap after lap, and he's still in the pit lane. And I'm like, I don't think you can get that much damage to the point where you're gonna be in the pit lane for 3 laps. So by that point, I knew he had just given up because there was really no clawing back from that. Again, sorry for him. I know he wants to do well in these races. I think this is just one of the tracks that's a little bit hard to keep it clean, but. Overall, happy for me and my teammate Ryan, and hopefully we'll keep increasing the gap towards him. So yeah.
All right. Well, yet another fantastic finish for the AMS drivers. That will do it for us here today for the Styrian Grand Prix. Be sure to tune in next week for the second of our triple header rounds at Brands Hatch. It should be a very interesting battle indeed. Of course, a bunch of these drivers inclined as to or very familiar with the circuit, having competed in the virtual test day Scorpio held about a month ago now at this point. So should be very exciting to see how they tackle it in these superformula machines. Unfortunately, post-race interviews didn't take over 30 minutes to complete today. So very happy for that. But that will do it for us. I've been Scorpio Blade. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to tune in next week. It'll be another fun one indeed. And goodbye.
Thank you very much.